What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. Is it Wednesday already? Or is it Thursday finally? Yeah, it's still Wednesday. Darn it. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, chat's popping in early. Welcome. Gonna go over several different things today. Hopefully this isn't too long of a video. I do have some bill paying segments. And well, the first one's going to be Unistake. I know I've had several of you ask me in different places if I was actually going to be covering Unistake soon, and I said yes. Today is the day. It's Wednesday, so this is a paid feature, and they paid me. Hold on, let me pull it up. Where is it? I'm just getting so many messages about Cardano now. I can't look at anything now without either somebody thanking me for getting them into Cardano a long time ago or asking me how to get into it now. I mean, it's getting kind of silly. So Unistake paid 6.7983 Ethereum for the paid segment in today's video, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. But yeah, that's the disclaimer, disclosure, or whatever. That's like exactly what they paid. And I'm going to start with Unistake. I've got a couple quick things to discuss real quick about Unimex, and then we're going to get into all kinds of stuff. So, and I figured that'll be ample time for everybody to start popping into chat, because it seems like there's such a delay in the live, but then it'll be front loaded for everybody else when they watch this later on. But man, is Cardano ripping. Okay, so Unistake. This is unistake.com. And I'm just basically going to read some of the stuff from their site. This actually looks like a pretty cool platform. However, the founders are anonymous, okay? Which everybody knows I don't like. And it is what it is. I call it how I see it. Now, they sent a whole thing basically explaining why they're anonymous. And a lot of it stems from, they want to be able to develop freely and kind of perfect their applications and do what they're doing without like US governmental interference, I guess, basically slapping them with different suits or like whatever it is that they might do. It's not saying that the US government would, but they're trying to kind of limit that potential exposure. Take it as you will. I am still dabbling in DeFi. I exited my Grow token position, and I just watched that tank. So, a lot of the stuff is risky. It's almost like you got to know when to get in, you got to get out, and move on to the next thing almost, which is crazy because it's not how a lot of this stuff is supposed to be. But it seems like, with the really, really good projects, holding longer term isn't such a bad deal. But to each their own. Do your own thing, do your own research on everything. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Unistake now. It's built to work with Uniswap version 2. And the platform, Unistake, is a decentralized token protocol built to empower DeFi projects and incentivize liquidity providers through staking bonuses, yield farming, and regular dividends. For users, Unistake provides liquidity for Uniswap, easier and more profitable than ever before. For Uniswap, Unistake's additional revenue streams further incentivize Uniswap liquidity providers, enhancing Uniswap's usability. And for projects, projects can attract more liquidity by providing staking bonuses for locking up liquidity pools. Now, I'm going to play this little video. Chat's still popping in, and I'll be taking a look at the chat channel as I play this video real quick.
A world of opportunities for investors wanting to get behind their favorite projects. One of the most popular ways to get involved is by joining. DeFi offers a world of opportunities for investors wanting to get behind their favorite projects. Ways to get involved. Tools to earn trade.
I guess we're not going to play that video because for whatever reason it just doesn't want to play. So okay, I guess we'll just leave that out of the equation for now. I tried playing it on here, but it's so small, and I'm like, okay. It's just teeny tiny. So the website to these guys, this is probably one of the nicest DeFi websites I've seen in quite some time. I will say that. Liquidity, DeFi projects looking to build or increase Uniswap liquidity can use Unistake to attract liquidity providers. Initial stake offering. Now, I've been seeing more of this kind of thing lately, and while it does pique my interest to some degree, it's like just the whole nature of DeFi kind of goes against my very nature. In some cases, I'm not. It's not to say I haven't profited from some of it. Don't get me wrong, but every time I do get involved in a DeFi project, I'm like, oh, I hope this turns out okay. New projects can take their token offering to the next level by turning it into an ISO, create custom parameters, and give participants more reasons than ever to get involved. Automatic listing. By using the Uniswap launch contract, projects can build trust through automated Uniswap listings, liquidity lockups, and predefined listing prices. That's actually kind of cool. Trusted code. Using the Unistake launch contract feature shows a project supporters that every aspect of their token offering is safe from exit scams and malicious code. Okay. Join other influencers, and there's information about this is stuff that I think is mostly for influencers. Grow your Uniswap liquidity and create tangible value for your token. Why liquidity matters. Liquidity equals value, which a lot of us have basically grown to learn by now. In short, a token price has no relevance unless there is enough liquidity to back it up. For example, a holder could have 1 million tokens, each valued at $1, showing a balance of $1 million in their wallet. But without enough liquidity in the pool, the holder will not be able to realize the value of the token, and the actual tangible value price could be zero, which is what we see. Like if you got in some ICO projects, but they just flat out resist trying to get listed on any exchanges because it costs too much or whatever the reason, then, you know, basically what you bought is worthless and it's not usable, and it's like a token that sits there. It might as well be a paperweight, which there are some projects out there that have done this, and it really does kind of boil my blood a bit because it's just not the way you operate a crypto project. So liquidity equals stability. For tokens listed on Uniswap, a healthy amount of liquidity is what gives the token true value. This is because the more liquidity a token has, the less volatile the price fluctuations are when swaps are performed. Buying and selling tokens with low liquidity results in huge price changes known as slippage. This is also another thing that I've run into recently, because there are some projects where, you know, it says it's worth one thing, but if you try to trade for the Ethereum, you want to turn it back into Ethereum and something else. When you're trying to use like a lot of these swap protocols, you end up realizing that there's just not enough liquidity to get out of the position, and that's become frustrating. Attract liquidity through Unistake. Unistake makes it possible to attract the liquidity your token needs and encourages your providers to keep it flowing through customizable lockup periods and time-based incentives. The tools provided enable you to easily set up a Unistake pool and accurately predict the amount of liquidity your chosen pair is likely to receive, along with the ability to adjust the pool parameters to suit market conditions and your token price. Unistake makes it possible to attract liquidity providers in a precise and deliberate manner instead of relying on them to be incentivized by the Uniswap trading fees alone. It's pretty cool. Using Unistake versus Uniswap alone. The reasons people provide liquidity on Uniswap is to receive a share of the trading fees paid by using the protocol to swap tokens. However, there are factors in being a liquidity provider that can prevent someone from joining your pools, which Unistake was built to help alleviate. These factors are unpredictable returns, impermanent loss, share of pool. This actually looks kind of cool, folks. And I was going through some of this a little bit before this segment, and I'm like, this actually looks cool. I mean, if this all works the way they're breaking it down, this could be very useful. Unistake is not a token that arbitrarily pays returns to holders for locking away tokens from an infinitely increasing token supply. The token is a real-world use case, a utility, which means people need the token in order to use the platform. Using the token within the platform creates new opportunities to projects and liquidity providers to get the most out of their interactions with the Uniswap decentralized exchange. Unistake projects. Okay, Cloudflare doesn't want to, and I've noticed that about some of these sites, the Cloudflare issues or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on. Check out the light paper. You can join the Telegram group if you like. I was looking for the actual platform link. See, this Cloudflare stuff keeps messing with me. Well, anyway, check it out. I may like go over this again in the future because there's more stuff that I'd like to actually look into and potentially share with you guys. I mean, this was a paid segment. It's unistake.com. Go in, read the light paper. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Well, that's about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's about right. So anyway, that's the unistake.com platform, paid segment, and all of that fun stuff. I might actually join the community, but I'm not going to do it right now. And then this is Unimex. This is something that I talked about in the past. That was a paid feature when I talked about it. And I said I'd take another look at this in the future, and I wanted to see kind of where they're at with things. Are there trading fees? Because we're only 11 minutes in and people are still coming in. So site is down. Which site is down? I've noticed too that a lot of these DeFi stuff, the websites are like up and down, and it's weird. I'm not sure what's happening. Site's not working. I ran into this earlier and they said it was working fine. So and then I clicked this link and it seems to be intermittent, and I don't know if Cloudflare is having a general problem and it's kind of intermittent, but I ran into the same issue 20 minutes ago, and I sent a message and I said Unimex isn't working, and they sent a message back saying no, it's fine. And then Unistake, I don't know what's happening with Unistake. This is all, yeah, it looks like they're having some Cloudflare issues. So yeah. All right. So anyway, and this is the Unimex platform. This is unimex.trade. This is not associated with Unistake at all. This is something completely different. And this is a new concept to me. And, you know, they wanted me to like log in and do some trading and things, but I don't understand enough about like margin trading on a DeFi kind of platform. So I'm not doing it. But it looks like a pretty simple thing, but you can trade 1x, 2x, 3x, 4, 5, or custom. I don't understand the nuances enough about DeFi trading to understand how leverage even works on a platform like this. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to mislead you. But you can choose different pools. You can swap tokens. And then you have the staking mechanism within the protocol, within the platform. I mean, check this out. It's unimex.trade. I'm still waiting for some feedback from you guys that are maybe using the Unimex platform. How is it treating you? What are you accomplishing with it? I mean, it's a pretty simple interface, which I actually like. I think they're trying to take a very complex kind of trading effort and make it into, his mic is fine. It's on your end. Please boost up your mic. My mic's pretty loud, so I'm guessing you might need to turn up your volume. No, I'm not drunk at all. I'm just really tired, and I keep messing with my lights, which make me look different. Sometimes I look like a zombie. Sometimes I look good. Sometimes I don't. It's just kind of weird. If he boosts his mic, my ears will bleed. Yeah. So, but this is unimex.trade. You know, check it out. I might dabble in this at some point, maybe a little bit, just to see. But I'm not going to do a live on the channel. I know that. But we'll see. But that's Unimex. And here are 3 reasons why Cardano is up 100% this month. Now, this is just kind of a little thing. Cardano's smart contract era is getting closer to launch. Well, duh. Gauguin, the era of the Cardano blockchain that will unlock its smart contract functionality, has been in development for at least as long as Shelley has. The teams behind the blockchain have been working on almost all of its phases simultaneously to ensure smooth launches and minimal performance issues. The first of the two Hard Fork Combinator HFC events set to unlock Goguen took place on February 3rd, bringing native assets to the Cardano testnet. At the end of February, the same upgrade is set to roll out to the Cardano mainnet and transform Cardano into a DeFi platform. That's the end of this month, y'all. That's the end of this month. The market reacted strongly to the upgrade, as Cardano is one of the few, if not only, blockchain platforms that handles tokenization natively. This means that user-defined tokens on Cardano act exactly the same as its native cryptocurrency does. Having native assets built into the ledger means that transactions between native tokens and assets do not incur execution fees, making DeFi applications much more affordable and efficient. Ethereum. Well, I really look like hell at the way the lighting is right now. Someday I'll get everything set up to the point. Like, I see some of these guys that go live and they don't look anywhere near as dead as I do. I just look gray and old. The lights are either super bright or they're not dark enough. I don't know what to do. So anyway, that's one aspect. The network will become fully community controlled in less than 2 months. While decentralization has been the biggest talking point of the crypto industry in the past year, only a handful of networks have actually taken concrete steps to become fully community owned and operated. IOHK, the company behind Cardano, is set to give up all control over block production on the network on March 31st. When the D parameter will go down to 0, the D parameter is a metric used to represent the percentage of blocks that are produced by IOHK. When Shelley, Cardano's staking era, was launched last year, the parameter was set at 1, meaning that 100% of the blocks on the network were produced by the company. With each epoch, the value of the D parameter slightly decreased and is set to reach 0 on epoch 257. Once D reaches 0, IOHK's only role in the Cardano ecosystem will be to continue developing the network until its mandate runs out. Knowing that the network you invest in cannot be controlled by its founding company was certainly something that attracted many users to Cardano, pushing ADA's price well past 71 cents at one point this week. Well, it's about 83 cents now, y'all. And then there's this. IOHK's Africa deals could bring millions of new users to Cardano. Strictly speaking, just as it relates to Ethiopia, you're talking about potentially 100 million people. I don't know how many people are actually going to be, doing any of that. But shit, like I said before, even a fraction of Ethiopia would be huge, let alone everyone else on the continent. Both IOHK and the Cardano Foundation have been outspoken about the potential Africa has for blockchain adoption, frequently investing in various development and education programs across the continent. Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of IOHK, revealed late last year that the company was working on a number of projects involving Cardano aimed exclusively at Africa. And while the public will have to wait for the end of the month to hear concrete information about the project, the latest reports have shown that IOHK's major African project is in its final stages of development. In a recent interview with the Pool of Africa, IOHK's Director of African Operations, John O'Connor, revealed that the company was in the final stages of a large government contract in Africa. When launched, the project could onboard millions of new users onto the Cardano platform and become one of the largest real-world implementations of blockchain technology. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's wrong, because that's that was last updated, or is it? I don't think it's, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. So this is Cardano against Ethereum, another significant pump. This whole run was a pump against Ethereum's value. This is what I'm talking about. With Cardano chewing up Ethereum, this is not ADA against the US dollar. This is ADA versus Ethereum, folks. This is a huge tear up. And I truly believe we're just getting started. I mean, we're truly just getting started. Now, Cardano ADA hits 3-year high as bets on Ethereum rivals boom. This is from 2 hours ago. Cardano's native asset ADA was among the best performers on Wednesday as bulls pushed its price up by more than 18%. The fourth largest cryptocurrency hit 87 cents. Its highest levels in more than 3 years as traders increased their bids for top Ethereum rival assets. They include Polkadot's DOT plus 5%, AVAX at plus 60%, and Chainlink a mere 12%, with Near up 9%. I've never even heard of AVAX or Near, to be frank with you. Traders flocked into smart contract platforms amid a growing hype surrounding their operability in the decentralized finance sector. This year's start experienced a bullish boom across the DeFi protocols, with the total value locked inside their Ethereum-based smart contracts crossing $39 billion on February 8th. That strained from the Ethereum blockchain as it hosts a majority of DeFi projects. As a result, its transaction confirmations got delayed and network fees surged. And they have surged. They're so high. Every time I do anything with Ethereum, I just want to like punch myself in the face because it's like just the fees are ridiculous. And the thing of it is it doesn't matter if you're sending a little bit of Ethereum something something or a lot of Ethereum something something. The fee's ridiculous either way. It's not, and I've tried it. It's like it doesn't necessarily go down because you're sending less. If you're doing a transaction on Ethereum, it's just going to gouge the hell out of you regardless. Oh my gosh, it's such a pain in the butt. Hence, protocols like Cardano recorded enormous gains in their token valuations. ADA surged by more than 380% on a year-to-date time frame, owing to DeFi tailwinds. What's next for Cardano? Traders expect Cardano to repeat its rival Ethereum's bull run that saw it claiming an all-time high this week. ADA continues its move up, with only 2 primary resistance levels remaining before fresh all-time highs. The first central area of resistance is the black area ahead. ADA is now inside 72 cents to 94 cent range, and over time, ADA will keep rising towards the black being roughly 97 cents with a 3 cent variable. A part of ADA's upside boom also comes from a declining Bitcoin dominance. Well, this is Bitcoin's dominance right here. So you can see that that's declining, but it's still up from where it was in the early month. So, I mean, but it's working its way down. It's working its way down. We did get a significant pump on the 8th. Went up even higher by the close of the 8th. This is a 30-minute chart. Let's take this to a daily. So there we are on a daily. So yeah, I mean, right now it dipped, but it's looking okay, looking fairly steady for the most part. It expects to transfer a portion of its capital to rivaling assets like Ethereum, Cardano, and others. Traders call it altcoin reason. I'm assuming that means he's meant to say season. I don't know. For instance, the chart above shows ADA against Bitcoin attempting a breakout move above the long-term resistance level from mid-2019, eyeing extended upside rallies towards 2,352 sats. Such a move expect to send ADA USD to its all-time high. Man, oh man. SingularityNET initiates phase 2 of the migration to Cardano. How you like them apples, folks? Cruising to 85 cents now, boys. I converted all my Ethereum to ADA. I think that's happening a lot more than people are leading on, because you just can't deny the numbers. I wanted to convert a bunch of positions into ADA like a month and a half or 2 months ago, and I just felt really like, oh man, putting all these eggs in one basket. I don't know if it's a good move. I would be up by like so much. I'd be up total of like 60% in that time frame. But hindsight's always 20/20, and you know, a gut move today could either pan out or go horribly wrong, and you just never know 100% what direction to go. So you try to hedge your bets with some variables to the equation, even though you're wholeheartedly, you know, you try to separate your emotional. I love those apples, Crow. Love those apples, Crow. I'm not sure what apples you're talking about. All right, so anyway, SingularityNET, a decentralized platform for AI applications, is in the news today after its most significant democratic vote came to an end, with CEO Dr. Ben Goertzel announcing the results on YouTube. The aforementioned vote took place after a Phase 2 proposal was put forth to the AGI token holding community to determine a number of things, including a shift from Ethereum to Cardano in order to achieve new network functionalities. SingularityNET Layer 2 networks with the aim of driving massive token utilization, launching a stream of new AGI ADA tokens to drive trillions of API calls, and moving further toward decentralized governance. There's the vote results. About 20.5 million voted no. 180, almost 188 million people voted yes. I mean, if this isn't a sign of what's coming, folks, I don't know what is. Well, and it's not necessarily people, but like token holding, I'm sure the number of tokens you hold references, is like a vote. SingularityNET will now focus on expanding to the Cardano platform in full force, and the release of the AGI ADA tokens in line with distribution underlined by Phase 2 white paper. Once the porting work is done, users will be able to swap back and forth between AGI ERC20 token and AGI ADA. Since the two species of the token will be swappable one for one, they will also have the same value. Expanding on what the community vote on the proposal would entail, Goertzel went on to say that the shift from Ethereum to Cardano wouldn't mean that AGI ERC20 tokens are being replaced. Instead, a new AGI ADA token would be created on the Cardano platform to go along with it. However, he did note that in the near term, most of SingularityNET's efforts would go into the Cardano version. It's just a technically superior blockchain platform. We really felt this was the best way to work toward our mission of beneficial decentralized general intelligence. The ambitious Ethereum 2.0 design holds promise, but the timing of the rollout of different aspects of this next generation Ethereum remains unclear, along with many of the practical particulars. This is what I just said. I just said this, I think, yesterday. Like, ask anybody in the know, and anybody that's developing a significant project, and they're all pretty much in agreement that it's just, while a lot of these Ethereum moon boys are pumping Ethereum 2.0 all over the place, acting like it's going to be the next best thing to slice bread, it's just not the case. It's not the case. And I see some pretty prominent YouTubers pumping this shit too, which I'm like, okay, how many Ethereum do you hold? Like, really? Like, how many Ethereum do you hold, brother? Because there's no way. It's like everything else going on today. It's like almost nothing is as it seems. It's getting kind of ridiculous. I understand everybody wanting to be bullish on Ethereum, but I'm telling you right now, I think Ethereum is going to become the old school. And, Bitcoin is as old school as it gets, right? And look at it. So it's not to say that Ethereum isn't going to grow over time. It's not to say that Ethereum doesn't have its value and its uses and so forth. But I don't know, man. I think ADA is going to take the cake when it comes to a lot of that. And this I thought I would touch on a little bit because it's decentralized, it's Twitter, and who knows. Blue Sky, how's Twitter's project to decentralize itself going? A new paper imagines that if Bitcoin's invention had preceded Twitter's birth, the social network could have been decentralized and sidestepped many problems. Exactly a year ago, Jack Dorsey, Twitter's founder and CEO, announced the launch of Blue Sky, a non-profit social network protocol that is supposed to decentralize Twitter. The mandate is simple. Dorsey asked the team of 5 to either find an existing decentralized standard that can help move forward, or, failing that, create one from scratch. Recently, we came across somebody's article, Protocols, Not Platforms, which captures a number of the challenges and solutions, but more importantly, it reminds us of a credible path forward. Hire folks to develop a standard in the open. Square is doing exactly this for Bitcoin. For social media, we'd like this team to either find an existing decentralized standard they can help move forward, or failing that, create one from scratch. That's the only direction we at Twitter Inc. will provide. Now that a year has passed, has Twitter made any progress? Twitter's been mum on Blue Sky. Other than Dorsey recounting Blue Sky's mission during the Oslo Freedom Forum, no one is talking. Blue Sky's Twitter handle was last updated in April of 2020, and its last tweet was in March when it reported that the team is hoping to put together a decentralized ecosystem review and may reach out to people and projects in the space. Well, recommendations are welcome. Twitter did not respond for a comment. Now, here's what I'm kind of wondering when it comes to like Twitter and decentralization. What does that mean overall for, I don't know, let's say what they deem, oh, you know what, maybe this touches on it a little bit. A decentralized form of Twitter can't happen soon enough. The social media platform of choice for President Trump in July, Twitter was the victim of a notorious hack, wherein the accounts of notable billionaires and politicians such as Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Joe Biden were commandeered. Basically, they were taken over. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that. Ironically, the scammers used the accounts to solicit Bitcoin. The scandal caused the internet to question Twitter's God mode security as well as Bitcoin's legitimacy. That basically brings me to my point. Like, if they were to somehow decentralize Twitter, what does that mean for Twitter? And what does that mean for the rest of social media? If it's decentralized, is it then decentralized with a built-in artificial intelligence algorithm for things like, fact checking and things that they don't want on Twitter? Like, how is that monitored and policed in a decentralized environment? Because the decentralized doesn't necessarily mean like censorship proof. It just means, well, I guess that's the question. I don't really know what it would mean in the sense of Twitter. But, listen, it's pretty obvious that there is definitely there's a lot of questions around this for me. And I when I think of a lot of the startups like SoMe Social Media, who are already ultimately building a decentralized solution to social media and the opportunities there. And I think about, to me, everybody wants adoption, right? Everybody wants to, the idea that Twitter could develop some sort of decentralized protocol to its platform and somehow integrate that technology into it, that sounds good, but it ultimately really does depend on what that means. I mean, it could mean anything from here, and they've been so tight-lipped about it. Who knows? And while I understand that everybody wants to be a part of the decentralized craze and all of this, I am more apt to, I don't even know the point I'm trying to make. I don't even know the point I'm trying to make, other than it's like, is the motive pure? I guess that's the what I'm getting at. Is the motive pure? Because at this point, when it comes to social media platforms, I don't know how much purity there is, because I believe that the founders, the creators, the corporations behind these things, I just have to wonder on like what everybody's motives are moving forward, because I've lost a lot of faith on a grand scale to a lot of these groups, and I don't know. I would love for them to come out and say, hey, what does decentralization of Twitter actually mean to the public? What does that do for anybody? So on that note, again, check out unistake.com, part of the paid features today. If you missed it, if you're interested in what I have to say about it, I basically just read through. I mean, we could take another look at this real quick, because there, I'm curious if the website is still there, if it's like not working still. I know some of you guys were having some issues. Let's see if it loads or not. Yeah, it's still not Yeah, something's wrong with the website for some reason. It looks like there's a Cloudflare issue. It's not necessarily a website issue, but it's a Cloudflare issue. So that kind of stinks, but there's nothing I can do about that. Oh my goodness. How many of you guys remember my dollar prediction for Cardano? Wasn't that long ago, but it was at the beginning of the month for sure. And we are very well on our way there. I basically said, listen, this is what we did the month of January. We went up 161.88%, and we're likely going to do it again. And sure enough, here we are. We're only on the 10th of February, and Cardano has gone up. Where's my price range? 115, 112-ish percent already. I don't know. What do I tell you? I'm right. Let me tell you something. Celsius Network is also it's been accumulating, but I've noticed it's been going up a bit. Here's the thing. This is against Ethereum. I mean, Celsius has gone up from $5 to $6. I mean, it's almost back to $6, but Ethereum has been going up too. So basically, Celsius is trying to chase the tail of Ethereum, and I'm still waiting for that desktop. Still waiting for that desktop platform, Celsius Network. I know the emails were going through to get me into that beta. Still waiting for that. Somebody fell asleep at work. I don't know. I'm gonna have to start sending out a bunch of messages to everybody. DPI index, it ticked up, it wicked up, settled back down. It's kind of accumulating. I don't know what's going on with this. This is a new thing for me. It's basically an index where you're ultimately buying a basket of DeFi tokens all at the same time. And, it looks cool, but ADA is just outperforming everything right now. ADA is kicking tail. My question is, and this is something that I'm probably going to be doing tonight, I'm going to spend some time on, is trying to figure out, I would like to see who's charting Cardano right now and see what they're coming up with on the technicals, because, with as much as it's been growing on the news, is this going to become a buy the rumor, sell the news type scenario? So when all the big final hoopla news comes out at the end of the month, people start trying to dump their Cardano to take the profit they made over this month, not really having the foresight of what's going to be coming for the rest of this year. To me, that's kind of a silly move, because then you're just paying cap gains tax on that whole thing when you could just probably hold it and limit it. But hey, Crow, still bullish on Turnio. I like Turnio, and I like what they've been doing. It's just been very slow moving. So if there's not a lot to say, I don't say it. That's the challenge with some of these projects. I like the guys and I like what they're doing and everything, but it's been pretty slow. So, I like Divi token too, but there's just not a lot to say right now until they release what they've got going on. What are your thoughts on Litecoin right now? Love you, man. Thanks for getting me into ADA. You're welcome, Matt Powell. I'm glad that you're enjoying the ride. Litecoin, I don't have any problem with Litecoin. But here's the thing. And I think I think to some degree what the market is starting to dictate and what we're seeing, I'll leave the sponsor of the channel up, or the sponsor of the video up behind me, just so people can see it. When I'm ramblings, and I'll show them a little bit too. Hold on, Unimex. So I think realistically, I think we're moving out of a position where everything is going to be based solely on speculation, because we know where that ends up. And I think that right now, you can invest in DeFi with the chance of getting some pretty substantial gains, or you cannot, and you can go into something with more fundamental growth potential. And I think early on, depending on the price of a particular token, it's the sentiment of that token that's ultimately gathering up a lot of investment capital from the public, from the retail market. And when I'm looking at a lot of the projects that have been invested into basically from 2017 up to present day, it seems like if you were to compare technology between all of them and try to establish what project is going to have the most fundamental use case moving forward, I do not see any technology out there beating Cardano. And here's the thing. I know that some people might look at me, especially if you're new, and you might say, oh, Crow's so bullish on Cardano. They haven't even launched smart contracts yet, and he's acting like it's the best thing in the whole wide world. Yeah, I do. I do act that way because that's what I believe, and I call it how I see it. I don't see any technology out there really touching Cardano post-Goguen. And I think that at that point, it's going to be a matter of all of the projects that are going to be leaving a lot of these other platforms. And the ones that can migrate to Cardano very likely will. And I think to some degree, it's going to be a slow grow, because I think we're going to start seeing a lot of projects like Celsius Network and others. Like, there's going to be an endless sea of DeFi-based protocols and applications basically trying to migrate away from Ethereum onto Cardano, and they're going to do so first by coexisting. They're going to duplicate their efforts from Ethereum onto Cardano and start the train moving. And slowly, they're going to be moving assets from one position to the other. And then before long, fees on Ethereum will start to drop. And then I think at that point, there is potential for some of the biggest, I mean, one of two things may very well happen. It could be like the biggest, brightest DeFi projects out there are going to remain on Ethereum and continue pushing forward as they started, or it's just going to be a graveyard for crap coins that just, they get thrown out on Ethereum. I don't really know how that's going to end up, but what I do believe is that the creme de la creme is already working on their migrations to Cardano right now. And I think that post-Goguen, we're going to see an endless sea throughout the rest of the bull market of these projects that have migrated over to Cardano. And the other thing to that is too, you know, when we do start seeing that, the adoption is going to continue rising. And listen, what are you going to do with the adoption when, hell, by that time, probably 75% of the total supply is going to be staked? It's not going to be freely available on the market. And I think that that's where I think Cardano, from a fundamental standpoint and from a like buy and hold, or if I'm going to crow my coins, I'm crowing Cardano. Because I think that what happens over the course of this bull market is going to be nothing in comparison to the next. And that's truth. You know, a lot of people say, you know, when do you get out? When do you get out? I don't know. I don't know that I do. Because think about it. Depending on where the price of Cardano gets to, you know, even if the market does a big pullback, which I don't personally believe we're going to see as significant a pullback as we did in the previous market cycles. I don't. There's too much institutional money that has been going into Bitcoin and other assets. I just don't think I don't think we're necessarily looking at I don't think we're going to be looking at as significant a pullback. So I don't know, man. I think a lot of the people that have been accumulating ADA over this time period are they're going to be generating passive incomes from delegating it and keeping it staked. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's still so much potential and there's still so much up in the air, but we just have to wait and see. I just know that it's going to do well. I truly believe it's going to do well. And I do believe the technology behind Cardano is going to take everybody in the world by storm. Plain and simple. ADA at $28 equals $1 trillion market cap. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's possible. I've seen some pretty significant whale traders talk about a $36 Cardano. I don't think that's going to happen personally, but not in this market. Potentially the next. But I definitely think we're going to be seeing a fight. I think we're going to be seeing a fight. Hey, Crow, nice content. Wishing you like 100K greetings from Europe. Well, thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate that. No bear market for ADA. Well, you know, I'm not necessarily saying that because I don't want to mislead anybody. And when you're talking about the market and you're talking about holding, listen, I always say, crow your coins, crow your coins. If you look it up, it's like, you know, we kind of created the definition in the Urban Dictionary, right? It basically means to hold what you buy in the crypto market for a year or more to lower your capital gains tax in the US, right? That's like kind of the joke, crow your coins. But, you know, overall, you have to do what's best for you. And you know, even though a financial advisor may not necessarily understand all of the nuances of the technologies associated with blockchain technology, they still understand market cycles and they still understand investment strategies, averaging in, averaging out, you know, positioning yourself, hedging your bets, so forth and so on. So talk to your financial advisor. I'm not one. I'm not licensed for any of that shit. I'm just some old guy on the interwebs that tries to talk about my favorite blockchain projects, and hopefully it helps you change your life over the course of these crypto bull markets, bear markets, and so forth and so on. I do what I can to try and educate everybody in as straight up and honest a way as possible, but I'm not licensed for anything. I'm just sharing my opinions and my own personal experience. You got to talk to somebody licensed who may very well know more than I do, and help them help you kind of position yourself, like when to get in, when to get out, how to go about doing that. I do think that you know, I do have a slight conspiracy theory, like tinfoil hat, in that part of me does wonder if Coinbase is either waiting for Goguen, because they want all of the smart contract stuff. I mean, the decentralization, they could be waiting for that. They could be waiting for until like next month, when basically no part of the protocol, no part of anything is in the hands of IOHK. It's 100% decentralized, and it's 100% in control of the community itself. They could be waiting for that. And I see like conspiracy theories, people are like, oh, they don't want to put ADA on there because it's a competitor for Ethereum and they're heavily invested. I'm quite confident that Coinbase will list ADA at some point. You know, it's not a guarantee, but I think overall they would be hurting themselves not to. So, you know, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Coinbase is just waiting for Cardano to go live. It's that simple. Well, Cardano is live. It's just not 100% ready with Goguen yet. So anyway, I want to thank my sponsors again for this video, Unistake, and then my previous sponsor from previous video, and I touched on them a little bit again, Unimex, from I think last week. Check these guys out if you're into this stuff. And you know, that's it for today. I'm just super thrilled with everything that's going on with Cardano right now, and I really wished I would have consolidated into Cardano when my gut was telling me it's time, because man, I would be up so much more already than I am. But it is what it is. Hindsight's always 2020. You can't have it both ways, unfortunately, but it's still going up and it's doing well, and I'm sure everything's going to work out just fine. So that's it for today, folks. That's 47 minutes, almost 48 minutes, over 1,045 of you guys. I don't even remember how many people did I have live. I don't even remember what my peak was in the last bull market. I can't remember if it was 1,000 or if I for whatever reason, at one point I remember having like 2,500, 3,000 people live. So I don't know. I am getting closer to 100,000 subscribers though. I think I'm less than 2,000 away. So that'll be a nice milestone to reach, hopefully within the next month or two. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys. I appreciate you joining me every time I go live, and I will see you again soon.